our first competitor, but our first opportunity. We have to switch from a multi-channel approach to an omni-channel approach, having a shopping seamless experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Castaldo. Now it's time for the panelists and the panel discussion, the topic of which is how brick and mortar retailer can stay competitive in the changing retail landscape. Can we have chairs on stage, please? So please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Vinay Bhatia, who is the CEO of Loyalty Analytics at Future Group. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Bhatia? Mr. Manish Mandhana, who is the Joint Managing Director at Mandhana Industries. Mr. Mohit Dhanjal, who is the Director at Retail at Raymond's Industries. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you. Mr. Mukesh Kumar, he is the VP at Infinity Mall. Professor Sandro Castaldo from MISB Bocconi. And the moderator for the session is Mr. Kumar Rajagopalan, who is the CEO of Retail Association of India. So over to you, Mr. Rajagopalan.
Yeah, my voice is loud, but it's not good enough. Okay, just give me a... Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So thank you, gentlemen. I think you've got your individual microphones for you. Thanks for joining. I think we've already got our stage set thanks to the earlier two discussions that we got to talk about. I'd firstly like our panelists to give a little bit about themselves, their business, and what they are currently seeing or doing within their own businesses to get the business moving. Maybe about 2 minutes each, because it will give us a stage on what's happening. So may I request Mukesh to first start off with.
Yeah, Mukesh Kumar. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mukesh Kumar, work for Infinity Mall. We started the first mall at Andheri West. That was almost 10 years back. With the success of that mall, we thought of building another mall, and the times had changed. So rather getting to smaller mall, we thought build a larger mall. And we're fortunate to have a good piece of property, so we built a larger mall which is around 1.2 million square feet. And between these two malls, we have around 1.5 million square feet of retail area. And of course, the business has gone through different phases. Andheri, which used to be neighborhood mall, still neighborhood mall, but we managed to change a lot of brands and got a lot of international brands. And Malad Mall came at the right time when a lot of international brands setting up shops in India, so you could get a good mix of national and international brands. Fortunately, it came at the right time, right location. It's done pretty well. The occupancy is almost 100%. Trading is good. And yes, online has affected in terms of footfall, but the good news is that the trading is not affected much. Trading, the per square foot sale is grown over the past 2 years. So we do accept online is going to be there, but at the same time, offline has its own strength, which we'll discuss during this course of discussion here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh. Can we get Mohit to give us a brief?
Good afternoon. My name is Mohit. I manage retail for Raymond. Raymond is an old brand. It's been around for 90 years. And as any legacy brand, we started retailing somewhere in 1958 when we opened our first store in Bombay. Today we have close to 1,000 stores, of which I think about 950 are in India. The rest are in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. So we are largely an Indian focused retail chain. And this is across formats. if you ask me, actually, the best thing that could have happened to Indian retail was online. So 2 years ago, when this whole madness started, is what people say. I think it was the best thing that could have happened. I mean, before a retailer, I'm a customer, and as a customer and a consumer, I think the option of actually shopping at my convenience, whether I'm traveling to work, at work, or at home, is tremendous. And the amount of choice. I mean, I really didn't know that there are so many things out there that I could have bought. So as a customer and a consumer, I think it was great. And as a retailer, I think it was something that was required, because let's be truthful about this. I don't think India has great retail stories to talk about. I mean, we are very adaptive, we are very, let's say, nimble, we are great entrepreneurs. All that aside, I don't think we are great in customer service. As a country, I think we have always taken customer for granted. Because, I mean, after all, a great man once said that customer is God, and well, you can't see God, right? So therefore you take him for granted. Because he will always come back, God always omnipresent, he'll take care of us and stuff like that. So I think as a retailer, it was a great wake-up call, because suddenly there was this new channel where consumers were lining up, at least to experiment, at least to see what's happening, and it was very disruptive. I mean, look at the prices. I mean, where could I have gone and bought something in the middle of a season at a great discount and a great value? I think so it was good. So obviously for a brand like Raymond, we have also looked at it. We are also seized with this opportunity. I wouldn't say it's a challenge. I look at it as an opportunity, because we needed to reflect. And with 90 years, you do have a lot of baggage. So therefore, we got together and we decided that, okay, there are certain things that we need to do. And I think we started rolling out these initiatives about a year ago. And I think after a long time, whether we had online or not, we have actually seen great growth in our same stores. So things are working, things are positive. And it's all thanks to online retail. Yeah, I don't think we would have moved in that direction that we now are moving, and we just did that because we saw this happen.
For some reason, we've got 3 M's in the middle. So we go to Manish here, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Manish Mandana. I'm the Managing Director of Mandana Industries. We are a vertically integrated textile and apparel manufacturing company, and all our lives we've been into manufacturing for topmost brands across the globe. But very recently we forayed into retail with the brand called Being Human. It's a brand with a very unique selling proposition. We've combined 3 strong elements in this brand with fashion, celebrity and charity. And I think in the recent times it's been one of the fastest grown brands the country has seen. And not only within India, but even overseas. We are selling across 17 countries as on today. We launched the brand first in the West, in Europe. Then we moved to the Middle East, and India was the last leg, being an indigenous brand. And all our years of working with international brands gave us a lot of strength and vision to create this brand. As on today, we have about 700 point of sales across the globe, and I think we are still at a very nascent stage, and there's a lot of ground to cover. Obviously, we are all here to discuss the brick and mortar, how we can be more competitive, but we should all understand the fact that in this fast-changing world, we've got to adopt very fast and face the realities. I've attended a lot of seminars and sessions where this has been a ongoing subject about brick and mortar versus online, but I think each one can create their own USPs, and each one can complement each other also in many which ways, and there can be a collaboration with the brick and mortar and online as well, which we can discuss as we go along. But it's the reality which everybody needs to accept and embrace, and each one in each channel has to be more competitive to create a better experience for the consumer, and I think as the discussion goes on, we can discuss all this. Thank you.
Your mic is still.
Mic is still not playing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is Vinay Bhatia. I represent Future Group. I think many of you sitting here might know of the group. We are a multi-format group present across the length and width of India. Formats like Big Bazaar, Central, E-Zone, Hometown, and many, many more. So I'll skip the introduction part and jump into the, the question raised by Kumar. When I studied, I did my MBA about some 20 odd years back. One of my professors used to tell us that the purpose of an enterprise or a purpose of a business is to make money. And when I look around to some of the stuff happening in online, I keep remembering what my prof used to tell me, and I think that, maybe he didn't get that right. Yeah, the world around me is quite different currently. And so that's one backdrop of the whole online piece for you. But I think like all my colleagues said, online is a reality. If you are sitting with your wife and suddenly she says you want to go shopping, even if it's to a brick and mortar outlet, the first reaction is you pick up your smartphone. Either you do it or your wife does it, and you do some searching and you check what's happening or you check timings. So even though you may not necessarily always transact, because buying fashion online is not the easiest thing, but you could still have a whole lot of engagement pre-going to the store. And I think that's one thing brick and mortar retailers like us need to pick up a lot better. So yeah, transacting is one part of the story, important part no doubt, but I think information, and I think Professor covered it in his presentation, a large amount of time even before going to a brick and mortar store is spent finding out stuff in advance, okay, or be it taking a taxi. So, a nephew of mine was joking with me recently. In my time, roti kapda makan. So it was, when I started my first job, roti pakada makan was pretty important. You've looked at the basic necessities first. And he was jokingly telling me that, I visit food startup sites and most often I get stuff free. Sometimes I don't even have to, when I'm a first time user, I get it completely free, okay? A full meal. There are housing sites, okay, less said the better. They're doing a lot of stuff there. Okay, and clothes, people are selling at, like he mentioned, full season 70% off. Okay, so I think it's a new thing, it's a new ride. All of us know it's not going to last forever. I would advise you guys, enjoy the ride till it lasts.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. My name is Sandro Castaldo. I'm full professor at Bocconi University and at Mumbai International School of Business. That is the campus of Bocconi here in Mumbai. Bocconi is a very old university in Italy, in Milan, with more than 100 years old, and was founded by Mr. Bocconi, who was a retailer. So for us, the retail business is a key element. At this moment, we are considered by Financial Times the 7th university in terms of business school in Europe, and the 7th for custom programs worldwide. We work a lot with retailers, because I think that one of the first challenges of retailers worldwide, but probably also in your country, is because the changing environment is the training, is to be updated to do training. And we do a lot of initiatives, some also in India. We have currently initiatives with Future Group, so we are very open in terms of international programs for companies. More than 50% of our programs are worldwide. In terms of challenges, I think that e-commerce, online, and as I told in the presentation, omni-channel approach is the key challenge. But I think that more than this is a challenge on trust. Who will gain the trust of the final shopper? This is the question, the key question. I think that brick and mortar retailers, they have an incredible advantage. And I think that they can leverage on this advantage, because online shopping is a very risky activity. Credit card, number of the credit card, the delivery after the payment. If happens something after the delivery, what I can do. So trust is key. Without trust, I don't buy. And so you have a big asset, please don't lose.
Thank you. I think some of the things that brought up are things that I've noted down. The first question is for, maybe Mohit can take this. You did tell that you're gaining lots more insights thanks to e-commerce, and e-commerce is something that's welcome. So what are the key things that I think you've learned as a business and which you are able to now adopt into your business, or know that this is something that we'll need to tackle with from e-commerce companies?
So I think one of the, So I think one of the biggest learning was that, while we assumed that we know our customer, we realized that actually because of technology, the online business actually knows a lot more about the customer. They know how much time they spend on the sites, they know what products they browse, they know which PIN code that customer stays in, they know, what bank he banks with. So there's a whole lot more they know. And actually I barely know how much time he spends in my store. I mean, I might have done some surveys and I can get some number, but they know for 100% of the customers. Yeah, so I think the first learning was that we need to, while we had assumed that we know our customer, let's first challenge that. And that's when we realized that actually we really don't know a lot about our customers. I mean, we might know a little bit about people who transact in our stores, but there are a whole lot who don't, and we have no idea who they are. So I think that was the first thing, and that's when we realized that, okay, while we have had CRM with us always, so I said, let's relook at it. Today people are talking about consumer life cycles. We are talking a lot more about, who buys what. We have now looked at technology that can tell you, in your store where consumers spend the most time, which are the aisles that they don't. I mean, Raymond is a small brick and mortar store, so our stores are average 2,000, 2,500 square feet. So we know where they are, but that's what we thought. But within that 2,500 square feet, we still didn't know a lot. So we're now starting to use technology, which gives us this insight. So I think, yeah, it helped us challenge our basic assumptions, which we started from from being, let's say, only product centric to saying that I don't think that's going to get us anywhere in this economy. So let's start looking at our customer and trying to understand a lot more. So that was one big thing.
Okay. Would any of the other panelists like to add to this as to what's been the learning thanks to e-commerce?
See, online, generally you go through the data. Today we had 10 million visits. I'll tell you my own experience. As an offline retailer, I'm a shopping mall manager, what I do is every day I go to all the sites and check what are they offering and what rate they're offering. Then I compare with the offline, what people are selling in the shop itself. So they may have many visitors, but are they actual buyers? They may or may not. So people do visit all these sites. And what are the advantages they give you? Basically, the online retail, there are three big factors. One is the convenience. Number two is the choices what you have. And the most important is the discount. Today, online, mostly banking on the discount factors. If you look at what started, I think a year back, maybe 1.5 years back, there are a lot of